Thanks so much for coming out. All right, I'm switching gears here. I played a guitar the first hour, and now I'm going to back to my comfort zone, my beloved ukulele. But I need your help. I don't know if you can you hear it okay? It's a lot quieter than the guitar. Should I turn it up a little? Yeah, it's okay. Would you like an iced tea or anything? All right. And if you're just joining us or tuning in, I've got a live video going on Facebook too. So we're like international right now. And certainly like coast to coast, because I think my parents, my biggest fans, are also tuned in. So we've got multiple time zones, lots of thousands of stories among us, and which, for me is really inspiring because I write music with people from their stories. And I happen to have a dear friend here with whom I wrote a story to song. That's the method that I use. I call it story to song, because I begin with a story from a real person, and then we work together to write a song from the words. And I've done this in a lot of different time zones, and every single time, just about every single time, I'm pretty nervous about being the person guiding the process. I'm always a little nervous, like, will I be able to write a song from this story? And this song that I wrote with marieke and her late husband Gene was a pretty scary experience for me, because it was a song about his life as it was coming to the end of his life, and I felt I felt really blessed to be invited. And I also, there's pressure, because I really wanted to write this song that could honor this beautiful being, which, he was and still is. And so I'm going to sing this song. It's called Born to Fly. And special thank you to marieke for being with me in this singing of this and the writing of it, and to Gene. I was 19 when I learned to fly, and I flew for 50 years. They said I had the real right stuff. I was a born fighter pilot. I learned to fly all kinds of planes, and I flew all over the world. I was having the time of my life. Everything was going on inside. They tell me I was born to fly. I flew like I had wings. Yes, I was born to fly, born to fly. As a child I played all kinds of sports, but I loved ice hockey the best. Sometimes I'd fall on the ice and rise like I was flying. As a pilot I traveled to far off places, but if you talk to me long, I would tell you about those birds I followed, flying with the whooping crane. They tell me I was born to fly. I moved like I had wings. Yes, I was born to fly, born to fly. As a boy I had a dream to see the world and have adventures and explore. So I read my maps and magazines, but I didn't know where life would take me. And flying got me there. They tell me I was born to fly. I moved like I had wings. Yes, I was born to fly. fly, born to fly. Yes, I was born to fly, born to fly. That's a very special one. I think every song is special because it comes from a human being, you know? And, you know, each one of our stories, each one of our life experiences shapes us into the person we are today. So, you know, if you label it good or bad, it just makes you into the unique person you are, who is just a gift to this earth. There's only one you. I mean, I had a yoga teacher who used to say, you know, you're the only you that ever was and ever will be. So I'm thankful for each of you, especially here today. And I've had a few people kind of just join us, and if you're wondering like what these little instruments are, I brought some instruments if you're feeling like you want to get a little bit more musical. I think we're all innately very musical beings. We kind of move our body when we hear rhythms, and so when I was volunteering at this asylum center in Brussels, I started feeling like people were seeing me as this like musician because I had the instrument, even though I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, you have the inner critic in your mind all the time. If you're me, maybe you do too. But I started bringing this little bag of instruments so that anyone who felt like they wanted to kind of share in the experience of performing the songs that we wrote together could play an instrument. And I really found that there's this whole sense of community that's also created when we're kind of in it together. So, you know, no pressure, but you're very welcome to take an instrument and play it. I'll start with a song that's like really easy to play an instrument to. I played it at the start when I first got here, but there's new faces, and I think I'm going to play it again because it's just, I want to say this is one of my favorites. Like every single one is my favorite because, you know, I think of the person behind this song, and they just become very dear to me. I do have books for sale here if you really like these songs and you'd like to support this project. You're welcome. There's a color copy and a black and white, and all the poems, the songs are in this book. I haven't quite recorded them, but I'm working on it. So this song is called I Am a Word, and it's an early song that I wrote when I was volunteering at the center, and I wrote it with a refugee from Syria who spoke only Arabic, and a refugee from Gaza who had taught himself English and was also studying French and Dutch, and he kind of works as a translator, and the fellow from Syria was talking about this idea that maybe one way that he could make a difference in the world was to be a word of hope and love and to live in every home. And, and that maybe that's one small way that he can make the world a better place. And it's got a kind of swing groove, like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, So I'll just start strumming and see if... Cindy knows this one. I always play this at my restorative yoga class. So I think we all need to hear it and believe it of ourselves as well. I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will push the darkness away. Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. I am the root of all resistance. I bring light for us to grow. I will push the sorrow away. Can I come to your heart and stay? I am a word. I am the life you've left behind. the path that you now follow, the melody of your song, the place you can belong. I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will push the darkness away. Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. Voila. Thank you. I know. I feel the same way. I feel like, you know how there's just these very important books that are translated into all these languages? I feel like if just one of these songs, and of course in my dreams all of them would be translated into every language, but this one is one I think would be a good one to do that, because I think we need it as a reminder too, especially, I mean, when that shadow comes down, there's been a lot of darkness the last couple of years. This year alone, there's a lot of darkness, and darkness is important. I think if we don't go into it, it's hard to come out and see the light. But it can also, cause us to build up these walls and these shells to protect ourselves. But those walls also don't always let in the light, and it's hard to see through them. That saying, like, what is it? Like, doors, not a window, or I can't even. What is that like? You make a better door than a window, or something like that. Fear makes a better door than a window, and so something I like about these. Oh yeah. 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 Nice. Well, I do have, so a lot of these songs, I'm singing songs I wrote with people who migrated to Belgium from mostly, war-torn countries. And, and a lot of the messages that they shared were really remarkably hopeful. And these ideas that, we're all human, we all have the same colored blood, I'm a word of hope and love, life gives second chances, never give up. Which to me was just really moving, and was able to help me kind of shift my own perspective of the things that I was struggling with. And certainly I think suffering is suffering and pain is pain, and there's no pain that's more important than any other. We're human beings, and we are feeling beings. I do think, though, that the more that we can, kind of work through that and create something beautiful that can be shared, the more hope we might be able to have of recognizing that we can all be words of hope and love. So that's one of my little speeches that I give about songwriting. And there was a song I was just thinking, I want to play this because, because we're talking about opening borders. So I wrote this song. So often it'll take a few Monday afternoons of volunteering to write a whole song. Sometimes a song just wants to be born, and it's a really easy birth. I haven't given birth to human children, but I've birthed a lot of songs, and sometimes there's a lot of contractions. But labors of love, right? And the fruits of my labor are musical. And there's a song that we started writing with a refugee from Burundi. So it started off in Swahili. And they shared these words, Hakuna Matata, which you may recognize, don't worry. Tushikane Mikono, place your hand in mine. It's this idea of kind of like holding hands. Tutafika Salama, maybe you recognize the word salam, means peace. And that means, we'll arrive safely, without violence. And Nabila Sila, which means without weapons. And so that's the chorus of the song. I'll start singing it in Swahili, and then I'll sing it in English later, and now you know it. So we started working with him, but then, over the course of a few weeks, other people came and shared different stories in Wolof, which is a language from Senegal, in Dari from Afghanistan, and French. So this is truly think about the United States being this mix of people from all over the place. across generations with different experiences, cultures, and languages. Like this is that song, and it's called, I was told that Disney owns Hakuna Matata, so it is called Open the Borders. And it's a fun one to play along with. Yeah. I've got instruments up here if you're wanting to get musical. Hakuna Matata, tushikane mikono, tutafika salama, na bila silaha, na bila silaha. If they open the borders, where would everybody go? Like a bird, no pain, no visa, just the power of our wings and our hearts to decide. Hakuna Matata, tushikane mikono, tutafika salama, na bila silaha, na bila silaha. If they open the borders, where would you go? Would you choose one place or migrate? I would make a new life in Belgium. Hakuna Matata, tushikane mikono, tutafika salama, na bila silaha, na bila silaha. And here's the English. Don't worry, place your hand in mine. We will arrive safely without violence. We will arrive. Zindagi aram dashta bashim. Relax, live for all time. Africa le jugi de nu, fek finu, jugi de fune. Si tu savais à quel point tu me manques, combien je pense à toi. So that was Dari Wolof. And then we had, I think, some French in there. I come from Africa and I find the whole world. Nabila Sila, Hakuna Matata. Voila. Thanks so much. Thanks for playing along. I just feel like there's a whole different energy when we do it together. And certainly it's less scary for me, so selfishly, I just hand out these instruments, you know, so I'm less alone up here. But I'm not singing alone, right? Even when we feel like we're alone, I mean, there's the energy from all these people from across time. You know, we're walking in their footsteps, creating our own. I mean, we're not alone. So I have this song that I learned from an Irish musician. He's a yoga teacher, and I did a yoga training with him. And this is a song that Cindy also knows. She comes to I also teach yoga. I do a lot of different things. In a past life, I was a park ranger, so I wore that really unflattering polyester uniform, even in 90-degree heat, you know, because that's sustainable. Yeah, that was a moment. Some good things, you know, shaped me into who I am. And I did actually write songs from oral histories of factory workers at a national park where I worked at in Lowell, Massachusetts. And I used to sing the songs on the boat tours on the canal and the trolley tours. And in my yoga life, I went to this amazing yoga retreat on this island called Inishbofin. It's the island of the white cow. All the mystique around that, and it was a really magical place, and it was really warm and sunny, and so, you know, that was kind of magical. There were all these people walking around like, I haven't seen this kind of weather in 30 years, like, oh my God, you know, and then there were, you know, I got to play music with these musicians, and I learned this song from Jack Harrison. He wrote it it's kind of a combination of mantra and a song that you'll recognize. And the words that, I think, Cindy, did you say some of these words are from the Bible? Yeah, so there's a lot in here. So just like each of these songs that I've been singing, there's a lot packed into each story from each individual experience that we have. And then, you know, music to me is this sort of way to take the ineffable meaning and put it into a language that our bodies, our hearts can understand. And this song speaks to me in that way also. Is the ukulele loud enough? Okay. Every voice must be heard, including the instrument. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Imagine yourself in a safe place, maybe a special place that only you know about. Old World Bakery could be that place. There's a song I sing in the morning, a song I sing in the night, a song I sing when I'm troubled, to make everything all right. And the wind broke into the mountain, and it tore the rocks apart, and it sang every song that ever was known, to the sound of the pilgrim heart. And after the wind, the earthquake, and after the earthquake, the fire, and after the fire, a still small voice, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sitaram, Hare Ram, 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 Sitaram, Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Sitaram. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, Ram, Sita Ram. I heard some egg shakers in there. That was awesome. Shake it like you mean it. So I'm going to play a few more songs here. I don't know if anyone can. Does anyone have an iPhone or an Android or watch? A watch. I almost wore a watch, but I forgot. 1:41. Okay, we've got some time. Time's not linear anyway, so maybe we've already been here. We're just circling around. Yeah. So let's see. Got all kinds of songs. How do you choose? So this book that I have here with all these songs was originally meant to be like a 3-page little just flyer for this cultural literature event in Brussels that we got a little bit of funding for to publish something, and we thought, well, let's just go through, each of the songs that we've written, and we'll just choose like our favorites. And so we play a song like, oh, that has to be in there, Like we wrote that with, Mohammed, or we wrote that with Dua. Like it's real people behind each song, and then we'd play each one, and then we ended up with this like tome because I think they're all just important songs because they come from people. Oh, flying alligator clip. Okay, so I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing a song that we wrote with a refugee from Gaza, and it's called "I Could Be You, You Could Be Me." The words are actually on my ukulele case, and "I could be you, you could be me" is repeated at the end of each refrain. So now you know some of the words, so you could, potentially, if that, sing along, exactly. But there's absolutely no pressure. But it was this idea that we were talking about how where we're born and in what circumstances can define so much of, our lives, but also this idea that, this kind of static idea that we have of life can also change in a moment. I mean, certainly we've experienced that this year, even with the fires, in Prescott, pretty close to home. And I had neighbors with friends that were told, like, you're in this like red zone and you have to leave. So, pack a bag. And what do you bring with you? So we wrote this song and we had some fun with it. My favorite line is, I could be the king of Belgium, he could be a refugee. I could be you, you could be me. And it's a fun one to play along with if you have an instrument. I mean, you actually have built-in instruments. So. I could be you, you could be me, and that's the line that repeats. I could be you, you could be me. We can change the dark to light if we want to be free. We are bound together if only we could see. Here's that line. I could be you, you could be me. We don't choose our species if we're a peacock or a pigeon. We don't choose our family, our country or religion. I could be the king of Belgium, he could be a refugee. I could be you, you could be me. You could be up here singing. What if we couldn't see the color? All we could see was the person's soul within. Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, I could be you, you could be me. True story. You might have been me. I might be you someday in another life. We don't have to follow a story born of fear. We all come from somewhere else, but we're together here. Our fate is not yet written, it's who we choose to be. I could be you, you could be me. Let me do that again. I could be you, you could be me. We can change the dark to light if we want to be free. We are bound together if only we could see. I could be you, you could be me. I'm gonna sing it again. I could be you, you could be me. One more time. I could be you, you could be me. So these songs are all part of a kind of book and album that we call On the Move, Poems and Songs of Migration. And the last time I played at the bakery, someone bought a book for the bakery, which I was just really touched by. And then it disappeared, which I thought was really great because it's like the title is On the Move. So, just like a song, you birth it out into the world and then you have to let go and let it be its own, its own thing and take on its own life. And so the book just grew little legs, and who knows what adventures it's having, the stories it could tell. All right, I think we've got time for a few more. So this song, there are people from, all over the world. People from all over the world want to come to this country, right? And so they're in places where they're not safe, or they fear for their safety of their children. And A lot of people have been leaving Eritrea, so there are a lot, different moments. I mean, I volunteered for over 3 years at the center, and just depending on what crisis was happening and, what people were fearing for their lives, for whatever reason, there would be a whole group of people coming from, Afghanistan or somewhere in the Middle East or somewhere in Africa. Now I've got a lot of people from Ukraine fearing for their lives, and a lot of people coming here, from Ukraine to countries in Europe. And we wrote this song with a young man from Eritrea. So there's words in English, and Tigrinya. And Tigrinya is, when we worked on this book, we wanted to make sure that the real characters from each language were also included, as well as, translation. And some of these languages are not really written, and they're not spoken by many people. So we do our best. But the Tigrinya is Kulu Yalif, Fikri Gini Tarif, Abnai Hiwet Kulu Gabdi Au Tesfadrai. And that means everything will pass, but love can stay. In the dream of life, everything is true, just be happy. So those words Tesfadrai mean just be happy. Easier said than done. Whatever your life path has been, So this is If Only We Hope. And the ukulele is like, if only I were in tune. There we go. Voila. All will pass, but love will stay. Only we hope, if only we hope. In the dream of life, everything will come true. Only we hope, if only we hope. Kulu yalif, fikri gini tarif. Amnai hiwet kulu gadi au Tesvadrai, just be happy, Tesvadrai. All will pass, but love will stay. Only we hope, if only we hope. Dream of life, everything will come true. Only we hope, only we hope. Then we've got some French. Un homme sans amis, c'est comme une fleur sans odeur. A man without friends is like a flower without a smell. La souffrance corrige mieux que le conseil. Experience is a better teacher than advice. Il vous aime vous-même, et Dieu vous aime aussi. We love you and so does God. All will pass, but love will stay. Only we hope, if only we hope. In the dream of life, everything will come true. Only we hope, if only we hope. Only we hope, if only we hope. Yes. All right. So in that I Could Be You, You Could Be Me song, there's a line about we don't choose our species, if we're a peacock or a pigeon. And I have a very special place in my heart for pigeons. So in another life, I mentioned I was a National Park Service park ranger in another life. I also was an environmental educator, so teachers who would bring their students to the National Forest or the National Park, and they'd meet up with this ragtag group of educators, and we'd take them out on trails and teach them about trees and plants and salmon. I was in the Pacific Northwest at the time. And the last weekend that I was teaching in one of these programs, this pigeon showed up. And it had like a wing that had maybe been injured. It couldn't fly. It had a band on, so I thought, I'm also a birder. Like, we band rare species. And I thought, this is like a really rare species of pigeon. I didn't know that like people race pigeons. That's like a thing. Like they train pigeons to go and race and then like come back. But if they're injured, they're not really all that useful for, competitions, so sometimes people don't want them back. But, when I thought this was a rare bird, I thought, and because I just am who I am, I brought it home with me, of course, and, I named him Como for Mount Como-Colshan or Mount Baker in Washington State, because that's where I was teaching, and I've had this real affinity for pigeons ever since. And where I volunteered in Brussels at this asylum center, there were a lot of pigeons. In Brussels during the winter, it's not quite as sunny as it tends to be here, so sometimes we would be writing songs just with the pigeons. And there was a pigeon with a broken wing, so of course then I felt like really like an affinity for this pigeon. I've got my pigeon here. And we wrote this song that's called the Pigeon Song, but we never say pigeon in it. But it's got kind of this, like, it's got so many layers of meaning. And maybe I'll find some of your own in it also. I am a bird with a broken wing, but I'm still learning how to sing. Nobody likes me, nobody loves me, but still I sing every day. All I have is this moment. It's a Buddhist pigeon. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. But I think one thing I love about birds is they are so present. I mean, they kind of have to be, right, to survive. But it's kind of this relief watching them. I'd love to just be that present, out of my mind, into my body. Just a bird. I woke up this morning and I could not hear my song, but somehow I found a way to carry on. All I have is this moment. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. When my song is hard to find, will you share your song with me? If we sing together, we create harmony. All I have is this moment. All I have is this time. We are not so different, you and I. Let us share this moment. Let us share this time. We are not so different, you and I. You see, there's like some similar themes that come up, right, and pattern. The story from the pigeon, we're not so different. That's why I've got my pigeon, got pigeon stickers. see yourself in the other in you. I think we're getting close to 2 o'clock here. Like, a couple more minutes. Okay, so we could do like maybe one more song. So I have this song. So we were talking about kind of like borders and walls, and this song is kind of a scary one to sing in Arizona, but I'm going to sing it anyway. It's called "Let Me Be Free," and I wrote this song. There were 2 couples on this particular day, both from Armenia. They didn't know each other, but sometimes people actually come from the same country, don't realize it, and then meet each other and recognize each other, which is kind of an amazing thing. That happened with the person we wrote the Hakuna Matata Open the Borders with. They had this moment where this woman was like, "Buddy?" And he was like, "What?" And they just, it was like kind of magical. But so this song comes from this idea, and the piece of paper, which, we have a photo of it in the book, but this woman wrote, "Let the smile be free from nationality," and she drew a little smiley face. And then she wrote in Armenian. The song's all in English, but we do try to kind of honor the real words in mother tongue that people write in as much as we can. So this song is "Let Me Be Free," and it's this idea that, again, like a lot of these songs, that we can choose that, and what if we all were free to just go wherever it was that our heart called us, where it was safe. So this is... So ending on the note of freedom, which every person deserves. Let me be free, free like a smile, free from your judgment of me. Let me be free like an idea, free from your fear of me. I'm searching for an identity that isn't based on nationality. What could it be? Could we be free if we let go of all our xenophobia? Let me be free, free like a smile, free from your judgment of me. Let me be free like an idea, free from your fear of me. I am a person without a promised land. I'm looking for someone who will understand. Could it be you? Can you see me? Can we take charge of our destiny? Let me be free, free like a smile, free from your judgment of me. Let me be free like an idea, free from your fear of me. Let me be free, free from what? Free from whom? Free to be, free for you, free for me. It's a complicated history. Those with power, they decide, but freedom comes from inside. Do you have a dream of what freedom could be? Stop and think, what is freedom actually? Free to go here, free to go there, not to be judged by the color of our hair. For as long as there's people, there's this need to control. But the essence of nature is about letting go. We hold on to structures, systems and rules, build a wall around ourselves. We listen to fools. A border has 2 sides, but which side is safe if we create separation, mistrust and hate? The only way forward is to embrace the chaos, the calm, the difference the same, the heartbeat, the bloodshed, inhuman, humane, the daybreak, the nightfall, beginning and end, everything, nothing, enemy, friend. Am I alone, or are you also trying to be free from who they want you to be. Could we agree and disagree and find a way to live in harmony? Let me be free, free like a smile, free from your judgment of me. Let me be free like an idea, free from your fear of me. Let us be free. We could try it and see. Hello. Risky business. Thanks so much. Thank you, everyone who's come and gone and come back and tuned in. And from the bottom of my heart, it's a real honor to be here and to sing these songs. I started off the set a couple hours ago, in our time at least, in this whatever space we're sharing. And I said, I think that sharing our stories is a real countercultural act. It's revolutionary. And showing up as we are is terrifying. Sitting up here and singing these songs, I was kind of nervous about it. But I think that it's important to get every person's story out there. And the way that I do that is through the language of music. So thanks so much for listening.